one and all, and welcome to the third episode of building a roguelike game in Minecraft. Over the last two episodes, we built out our dungeon rooms, our bosses, our mini-bosses, for at least the first zone. But today, I think we should have a focus on polishing things up. Which is why I've designed a starting area. I will need to patch that ceiling, unfortunately. But right through here is the focus of our episode today, which is designing our classes. Now, I've already got 8 of these classes figured out, and we will go over each. But first, I need to make some art to go on the walls for each of these, and I should probably actually get all of these books written. There's only a couple that are written right now. So how about I get to work, and then we'll jump right in. Well, that took a lot longer than expected, but I have art for all of the classes. These are the paintings that are going to designate each class, and I can show the full versions right in here. Each of them is hung up right above the lectern that shows all of their stats, and they are all in the same style. It's not a super complicated style, I just wanted it to be very easily recognizable between them by specifically accenting their main features, such as their color and their interesting appearances, and a few of them. Essentially I want to show off that this guy is our tank. This guy has a lot of stuff to do, like emeralds and trading and business. This is our artificer, artisan class, who uses magic and anvils, and so on and so forth. Alright, why don't we go over each class and explain what it's going to be. Our first class is the Vanguard. This is our tank. They have resistance and slowness and start with some pretty good armor. Not the best weapon, but a pretty decent one. And anytime they beat a boss or a mini-boss, they gain 2 hearts of absorption. Next up is the Charlatan. This one is our trader. They have Hero of the Village, speed, and weakness, and they have some pretty decent starting gear, and they start with a few emeralds. I have not yet implemented the traders, but they will be added this video. Next up is the Artisan. This is actually one of my personal favorites, even though it's not very complicated. Pretty much their whole thing is they start with some pretty decent gear, but whenever they upgrade an item, they get extra powerful enchantments. And upgrading items heals you. Next up is the Zealot. Now, in the very first video, I said that there was a room that I hadn't fully implemented yet and I was still working on. Well, I finally got it done. It is called the Altar Room, and is the core mechanic for the Zealot. This is what it looks like. Pretty much how this works is you just throw a Echo Shard right on this, and it gives you a random effect from a list of possibilities. The Zealot gains extra abilities and extra strong abilities from these buffs, and they start with some Echo Shards instead of having to collect them in the dungeon. And they start with a good few potions as well. A really good all-around class. And of course, if you have a Zealot, you need a Heretic. The exact opposite. And you may recognize this red eye symbol from the top of the Blood Sacrifice room. The Heretic has similar starting equipment. Instead of getting a speed potion and Echo Shards, they just have a better starting weapon. And their main ability is they gain a stacking strength buff from performing blood sacrifices. Every blood sacrifice they perform, they gain an additional level of strength up to strength 10. Now, of course, they have to pay the price for getting that blood sacrifice, and blood sacrifices aren't that common. But hypothetically, you could get 10. You would have to sacrifice 50 hearts, which is 5 times your health bar. But I guess if you could manage it, you could get that many. Here is the Revenant. Now, I must admit, I actually already tested this class and it didn't work. It completely broke the game. And I've reworked it. So you're actually seeing version 2 right now. And because of this class, I have realized Totems of Undying have had to be completely removed from the game. They break the class system. They remove buffs and debuffs from a player when the totem goes off. which means it completely breaks all of the bonuses and debuffs of the various classes. The Revenant used to start with 1, now they just start with 3 golden apples, and they also start with a stone sword. They have invisibility, strength, and speed, for the simple drawback that they cannot wear armor at all. Second to last, and the final one of the good classes, we have the Brigand. The Brigand is our ranger class. They have a crossbow to start with, a bunch of arrows, some pretty solid gear, and they have speed and jump boost for some increased mobility. And if they murder traitors, they get some emeralds. Finally, we have the Ascetic. This is for people who want a very difficult challenge. The Ascetic starts with a leather chestplate, a wooden sword, and a milk bucket. And they have blindness, slowness, and weakness. Now you might be wondering, what's the point of a bunch of debuffs if you give the player a milk bucket? An ascetic is someone who practices severe self-discipline. But yes, at any time, the player can remove all of their status effects. Let's take a quick look at how each of these class systems works. So each of them have this little line of command blocks. This one is triggered just when that pet gets powered, and you might notice each of them has the name of a class. Now, for some other back-end stuff we'll show soon, you need to be tagged with the correct tag. So this one is Vanguard right here. I have them all labeled on the back so I can actually figure out what I'm doing, and all color-coded. So this tells the game, give the Vanguard tag to the closest player. This says remove Charlatan, remove Artisan, all of them say remove. Each of these has the exact same setup, except which one is adding is changed. So this one removes everything but Charlatan and adds Charlatan. This one removes everything but Artisan and then adds Artisan, and so on and so forth through all of them. The second line actually gives the specific ability, so it clears your effects away, it clears your inventory away. So that just gives it a nice blank slate to work with. Then it adds each item individually, and I have them in item frames so I know what I'm working with as well. See, this one gives that equipment, and it puts it in the specific slot. Like this puts it in your first hotbar slot, and this one puts it in the boots on your feet slot, and so on and so forth. Now for class-specific things, this is how Heretic works behind the scenes. Every time the Heretic uses a blood altar, it places a concrete power right here. Now this falls down, and you'll see I just got strength. I have marked myself as a Heretic for this example. Pretty much how this works is I have all of these repeaters going into each block. Every time a new block falls down, it connects the power through this block to one of these command blocks. Each of these command blocks gives all heretics strength. And you might notice each one, the level of strength, which is right here, goes up. And it goes all the way up to 10. Right here is how the Revenant works. This just 20 times a second puts a skull in your head slot, a special chest plate, which I'll show in a bit, in your chest slot, and then just puts air in the other 2 slots because you don't want to be able to have any items. Now I have added a special chest plate, the Revenant chest plate. The Revenant unfortunately wasn't visible like at all to enemies, so I had to make it visible by putting on a little bit of armor. And I didn't want that to ruin the vibes, so it is just a completely invisible chestplate. Next up is our new overhauled enchanting system, and you might notice some of this is blue, some of this is purple. Blue is just so it represents that it's connected to the normal rooms, and purple is the artisan's color, so everything past that point is artisan specific. Now when I want to enchant something, it puts a redstone block right here, and then runs all of these commands. Well, that is all the behind-the-scenes systems for making the class system work. So why don't we get to work on the altar room and the shops? I showed a small clip of the altar room earlier, but this is a little bit more of an in-depth look. So up here we have a command block that triggers when anyone walks through this door. It does trigger just based off proximity, it's just directly above the door, so it scans right there. puts a redstone block right here, and then powers this. This just puts a hopper minecart in place because I need one for the redstone down here. So how this works is you walk in with an echo shard, preferably, and you can walk up on the altar and throw an echo shard down, and it will give you an effect. Divine Voice, I grant thee a graceful descent, and it has granted me slow falling for a while. That is actually probably one of the worst effects you can get, but there are quite a few. Down underneath, I can show the actual redstone. Pretty much is just a hopper minecart to collect an item from on top of this block. It runs it down into these barrels. This is just a basic item sorter. If the item cannot be sorted, like it's just something that cannot go through this filter right here, so it's not an echo shard, then the item will just get stuck in this barrel. So technically you can throw 27 wrong items in before it breaks the entire system. And if someone wants to throw 27 incorrect items into the altar, who cares at that point? They can break it. They've earned it if they want to sacrifice 27 things. If an item actually does go down, it'll just deposit it into here where our echo shard ended up. Once there's an item in here, it powers this comparator and this command block. This pretty much just tells it, create a redstone block under an armor stand with the name Altar Effects. Just pick a random armor stand with that name and put a redstone block under it. And that is how we choose a random effect. And then there's a few little note blocks for sound effects. Over here is our loot system. Right down here is where we've had all of our randomized loot in the past. And right up here is our effects. You can see that same name, Altar Effects. These are the armor stands it picks a random one of. Each of these is set up with a command block that after a 3-tick delay just removes the block above it. So pretty much it'll put a redstone block here, then this block will remove it. While that redstone block is there, it'll power these 3 command blocks. This one gives anyone who isn't a heretic or a revenant strength. And this one gives anyone who's a zealot a stronger version of the strength. And then over here is the little thing you get in chat. Divine Voice, I bless thee with divine might. One of these is the graceful descent one. Each one has a slightly different line, but they're all basically the same. Like over here is I bless thee with vitality. I bestow upon you a silver tongue. All of them just have slightly different messages to show which ones are which. And that's pretty much the whole way it works. It's actually really simple. Now, as easy as that was to make, I had some issues with one of our other tasks. Specifically, the trading system was a lot more difficult than I anticipated. The first thing I did was just add in a randomized emerald loot system. Pretty much, if there's an emerald option, it just gives you a random one of these. These ones are twice as likely, which is why I was assigned down there. And each one is just a different number of emeralds. That one's 15, that one's 10, 35 over there, 30, 20. Each one's just a different amount. That was the easy part. And then I want to make a custom trader, so I just borrowed the code and texture of a trader I had made for something else. This guy, who was a monster hunter, and then his UI completely broke. I have no idea what's wrong with him, to be completely honest. I haven't even removed him from the pack yet, but he needs to go. So now, extremely confused with why that didn't work, I just decided, okay, what if I just alter the Wandering Trader trades? So that's what I did. He now sells the items I want. So the Wandering Trader works perfectly. Now, you may hear a weird sound when I place this guy down. That sound is 2 leads snapping at once. It's because the traders in this version spawn in with a llama. Well, 2 llamas. And I need to get rid of those llamas as quickly as possible because I don't want the llamas in the dungeon. So I just teleport them into the void instantly. Now, to house our new Wandering Trader, I have designed a couple new rooms. First of which is this little one right here. When you walk in, a Wandering Trader spawns over here, and it's just a nice little shop area where you can go and get some supplies from the local merchant. And if you are a brigand, you can kill him. If you're a brigand, that will give you some emeralds. And here is our other room. This one is a little bit larger, a couple more rugs on the ground, and it kind of loops around to the back. So once this guy is spawned in, it triggers a little system up here, which this actually spawns the trader, and this tests to see if the trader is still alive. If the trader dies after it had been spawned in, then it will trigger this command block to give all players with the tag Brigand 20 emeralds, so they can properly mug the wandering traders. I think it would be cool if I was able to add a system that made it so when the Brigand kills a villager, there are some kind of consequences, such as maybe a villager guard showing up to stop the player, or just to give them a little bit of extra danger if they want to actually try and mug this trader for all their money. And maybe I could increase the reward value as well. But I just haven't found a way I liked to do that yet. So for now, it'll stay like this. Well, now with all the work for the day out of the way, how about we run some tests? So we've got 8 classes. They all should work now.
Guess I'll do this.
Artisan, okay.
Okay. Bop.
Alright, this is the first time I've actually tested if this system works properly.
Do I?
Let's hope it opens in a sec like it should. Hey!
Reminds me of like Decked Out. Oh yeah.
Also, yeah, that's actually a really good parallel. The horrors of the Silverfish room. There's 2 rooms that have claimed more souls than any other. The Silverfish room
Is this one of them?
and
Yep,
the Spike corner.
Oh.
Okay, you know, fair enough. I guess if you want to skip the main for Artisan, then it's up to you.
Oh, that's what that does. Okay.
Now there's 2 types of players so far. The ones who do this easily with like just sprint jumping over it, and then there's that kind.
Ooh, oh. Okay, I swear the environment is gonna kill me faster than the enemies.
Yeah, that typically is how it goes.
How are you supposed to get around these?
You go up and over. If you look up, you can see how tall the room is.
Oh.
You're just in the spike pit essentially the whole time.
I see. Okay. Oh no. Ow. I'm so good at this game. I can solo.
The roses.
I can solo. Oh my gosh.
So, you know how I said there's 2 rooms that have claimed a lot of souls? This is the other.
This is the other one?
This room I think has the highest kill count of any room. Hey, mini boss time.
Oh.
If you remember which one this is, it is the harder one of the 2.
Okay.
You know, congrats on making it to the first mini boss.
Oh, wait, scorpions?
Yeah, it's the worst of the 2. They don't see you, luckily, since you're the stealth class, but... Nice. I think that's the first time I've seen someone actually use the mace and hit something.
Dang it, I missed. Hello? Where are you? Oh, dang it.
Beware they can climb.
Bro, I keep missing.
I'll just leave.
What? Hold on.
Leave the first one in.
There we go.
Oh yeah, there we go. I'm glad the Revenant's finally working properly.
I got through that. Oh no. Okay.
Well, that's about it for today. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm sorry that this episode was a bit technical. Next time we will be working on adding a new zone to the game. Subscribe if you want to see that, and I will see you in the next one.